Good afternoon, the state news. I am Adekemi Amo. The Nigerian Labour Congress NLC, the Trade Union Congress TUC, as well as Osun Civil Societies Coalition have protested against what they described as oppressive policies of President Bola Tinubu that have been inflicting untold hardship on Nigerians. The unionists who led a peaceful protest in Oshogbo, Osun State capital, said their actions are aimed at deepening democracy in Nigeria. Our reporter, Oluchi Amuda, completes the story.
That was part of the solidarity song sung by members of the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC, joined by other unions such as the Trade Union Congress, the Joint Action Front, Osun Civil Societies Coalition, Academic Staff Union of Universities, National Union of Electricity Employees, among other affiliate unions, who converged for the highly anticipated nationwide protest against what they described as the subsidy regime policies of the federal government that have plunged the masses into deeper poverty and the inability of the federal government to release palliative to ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians. The protesters, who sang solidarity songs, brandished placards with various inscriptions such as "No to harsh economic policies," "Give us living wage," "Let the poor breathe," "The people are hungry," "We say no to hike in pump price," "Oppression hike in cost of living," "Give us affordable education," among others. The labor leaders who took turns to address the gathering, including Osun NLC Secretary, Comrade Victor Amusha, Osun TUC Chairman, Comrade Adekola Adebowale, former ASU President, Comrade Biodun Ogunyemi, Comrade Waheed Lawal of the Osun Civil Societies Coalition, all harped on the need for President Bola Tinubu to desist from stifling the people with oppressive policies.
Before you say you should remove subsidy, there should be some palliative measures that should be upfront so that we lessen the burden on Nigerians, not only the workers, the informal workers. That is our demand. Recently, there have been incessant increase in school fees of our students, that they should allow our students to go to school. They enjoy this free education. That is why we are also requesting that they should ensure that this increment in school fees is stopped drastically, so that many of our youth will not drop out from the school.
We will reduce democracy to a government of the few by the few and for the few. And who are these few? Only the rich. So we don't want this country to slide into the level of the government of the rich for the rich and by the rich, which is plutocracy. We need democracy in Nigeria, not plutocracy. And that is why we are saying, when government is in power and government has done some things that people don't like, people should be allowed to tell them directly. Even when their representatives are there and they come back with reports that are not yet acceptable, government should listen for that so that they can review their policies and make the policy more friendly. They can give human face to the policies they are coming up with.
The protesters who took off from the Mandela Freedom Park marched through MDS, Olaiya, Aregbe area down to other parts of the state capital amid the heavy presence of security operatives, including the police, the NSCDC, who guided the protesters to prevent breakdown of law and order. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
An activist from Osun State, Comrade Waheed Lawal, has described the address by President Bola Tinubu as not only out of point but also a deviation from the yearnings of Nigerians. Comrade Lawal, who thumbed up for the protest of the labor force, described the president's speech as a forlorn hope. He speaks.
The statement of Mr. President does not address the issue on ground. Mr. President came on board on May 29 and said, since the budget of this year does not capture subsidy, so subsidy has gone. So by fiat, subsidies was removed. So Mr. President should provide the palliative to cushion the effect immediately, not a long-term solution. Mr. President is doing that. He's working for the international community, IMF, World Bank. That is not what we want. Nigerians elect him. He should work for the Nigerian people.
Speaking on the possible hijack of the protest by unscrupulous elements, he said it is the responsibility of the security agencies to guide the conduct of any processions. He speaks further.
Boss has the right to embark on the strike or discontinue it. It is their fundamental right. But the protest, Nigerians will continue to protest until government listen to their voice. It is the duty of government to provide security for the life and property of their citizens. So whenever people are moving, government should provide security for them. They don't tell me hoodlums who hijack. Who are the hoodlums?
Speaker of the Osun State House of Assembly, Honorable Adewale Egbedu, has assured the state stakeholders that the legislative institution is ready to cooperate with other arms of government to ensure the actualization of the developmental agenda of Governor Ademola Adeleke. This was contained in his goodwill message at the ongoing strategic retreat and onboarding program for new political office holders and key stakeholders of the state organized by the Osun State government in Ede. Honorable Adewale Egbedu emphasized that the 8th Assembly under his leadership is already laying a solid foundation for the actualization of the set agenda of the Adeleke-led government. He noted the laws that will ease governance and make the state attractive to investors are already being worked on, noting that the House has put to rest the conflict in the identity and affiliation of the state through the Osun Anthem, Crest and Flag Law 2023. He concluded that aside from lawmaking, the House of Assembly will also efficiently discharge its oversight duties, thereby actively helping the executive to monitor the implementation of government policies. The giant strike taken by Governor Ademola Adeleke in the education sector has been lauded as it will usher in fresh air into the system. Our retired Tutor General in the state, Mr. Kola Buhari, gave the commendation while speaking with OSBC News in Oshogbo. The retired educationist submitted that the present government in the state has revived the sector within just few months of its administration, while advocating that training and retraining of its personnel should be given a top priority.
Well, for some time it has been a ding-dong affair. At a time it was fine. At a time it went down, came up again. I think it is picking up again. You see, there are 4 areas we should look at: the government, the teachers, the parents, and the students themselves. In fact, the 5th one is society. But at the end of the day, society, all the 4 named ones above are components of the society. You see, the government has a duty to bring up the teachers effectively and efficiently well so that they can perform well, like giving them their due, pay them their wages and entitlements promptly and at the right time, and you give them training. They should be trained and retrained so that they will come abreast with present educational development at world level, so that because the students we are bringing up, they are going to be sent into the world and they can be found to work anywhere in the world. So they have to be brought up to the international standard.
That ends the State's news on OSBC TV. Join us at 5 for the evening news. Good afternoon.